Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 8 Premium German Battleship Tirpitz. It has 8 main guns, 28 secondary guns, 72 AA guns, 8 torpedoes, a top speed of 30.5 knots. Total hull, 69,300. For my modules, reduced crit chance on main battery, increased main battery accuracy, reduced flood and fire chance, faster rudder shift, and target acquisition. For my commander, situation awareness, basic firing training, faster turret traverse, lower cooldown on damage control, superintendent, and advanced firing training. We are on the map 2 Brothers, and this is a new microphone. It has an arm, so I can move it around, I can move away from it. It also has a pop filter. My previous microphone was a headset microphone, and I couldn't move away from it for screams. It was a little awkward because of no pop filter, so I had to adjust it in post. Hopefully this will have a cleaner feel, a more consistent feel, and maybe it'll allow me to do more things because I'll spend less time editing my audio. Now, we're headed towards A. We have a friendly Tirpitz that wanted to division up. Usually I don't do this because there's so many people who ask, and I want to division with all of you, but you know what, I was just trying to find some bit of luck because they introduced the German cruiser event where you had to complete a couple missions in order to unlock a tier 2 German cruiser. I've done it. It's garbage, but you know what, at least I got to do it, right? I like that sort of thing. I like the mission system that makes you maybe play the game slightly different. Maybe you go like a fire build. Maybe you go all in on concealment. I don't know. I would just like to see that sort of thing come into game. I know in World of Tanks, it's really fun to, well, let's not go all the way really fun. It can be fun to have to play for a specific objective in a specific battle. It makes each battle slightly different. It also gives me a lot of extra content. Oh boy, there we go. You notice I'm chain firing, and that chain fire allows for you to do micro adjustments based on the enemy's movement. So I'm having more success at long range when an enemy is maneuvering. Some of you have suggested I do this instead of letting all guns fire, and I pretty much agree. It also allows me to cancel a salvo if I feel like they're going to die and switch to another target. An enemy minikaze shows up. The Atago sustains a torpedo attack from a friendly torpedo bomber, and he's defeated. Now I can focus 100% on the enemy minikaze. I switch to HE. Oh no! Friendly is detonated. It's the beginning of the game. He had 65,000 hit points. Just the worst case scenario. And you never think that's going to happen until it does. Guarantee he's going to load the detonation flag for the next 10 games. He's going to be super happy, and then he might run out of it, or he'll be like, it's never going to happen again, and then it's going to happen again. Now, we are engaging the minikaze at long range, 10 kilometers. Enemy torpedo bombers trying to get in position, but we are being kind of frustrating for him. I make an effort to avoid every single torpedo bomber. 10 kilometers isn't a long range, but for destroyers, it kinda is. That's plenty of time for them to maneuver out of the way. Now, an enemy Colorado and an enemy Błyskawica, or the Polish destroyer, okay? Enemy minikaze's back. He's at 50% life, and we would like to engage him. He's preventing the friendly Farragut, remember the Farragut at the beginning of the game, from capturing A. We want to capture it, at least. It's me, the Farragut, and a friendly battleship on this flank. Friendlies on the other side are doing just as much work. And I think the minikaze is dead in the water. I'm not 100%. There's a fire on board, I know that. But I also believe his propulsion system is knocked out. So I'm going to go around this island. I have HE loaded, and I'm going to engage him if I see him. I've popped my aircraft. He's going to scout around me. He's going to be my first line of defense. Another thing I didn't mention, target acquisition was a module that I have actually loaded. I believe this is the first game I've ever did a commentary of with target acquisition. In 0.5.2 got a huge buff. Oh yes! We take him out. He might have dropped torpedoes, but here's the chain fire. I can use the last two on an enemy Colorado. Now, it is HE. If we set him on fire, it's a bonus. And as far as target acquisition, it's still too early for me to say definitively if it's mandatory for battleships like concealment is for destroyers. So we'll have to wait and see. So an enemy destroyer is still in the area. It's the Polish destroyer. I'm not going to say it. Thinking about it, but I'm not going to say it. We'll learn how to say it better. I'll get a little confirmation on that weird L. It kind of sounds like boy to me with my ignorant American ears. But I've never run into people who speak Polish. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Okay? Over 50. Oh, here he is. Enemy destroyer shows up. He's showing his side. He's got his wrapping paper all over his ship. And we miss because he turns away and he avoids the damage. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to allow me to kill you. And he's going to move away, and he's going to have a minimal profile. An enemy is moving up the channel, which is dangerous. There's nobody there. If nobody reacts and he sent out torpedoes, that little bugger, we're able to avoid it, thankfully. Just enough gap to fit this big old battleship through. And I continue to try and engage him. He is moving away, and the enemy Colorado is trying to engage me. He lands 4K. That's pretty good, actually, considering the angling we had. Enemy torpedo bombers are incoming, so that's not good. I really like to sail towards the torpedo bombers to prevent any decisive drops. And here's the first one. Kind of looked like auto drop, didn't it? It looks like we're going to be able to avoid most of the torpedoes. One will hit, and it's going to hit the belt armor for protection. No flood. And can we avoid more torpedoes? I've accepted that I'm going to get hit by one, but we're able to avoid them all. Only one torpedo bomber was successful in his drop. The enemy Colorado is now 9 kilometers out. And I still prefer going after the destroyer. He's a harder target to hit, but he's worth so much more. He is a gnat, a mosquito. He's annoying. The enemy Colorado engages. This is going to be bad. Ooh, that was a good shot. That was a good shot. Again, we still have HE loaded because we want to take out that destroyer. I'm not that bad of a battleship captain. I know that AP on a broadside target is ideal, but I just can't get off of this destroyer. I want to capture A. I'm not going to capture A. He's not going to allow me. And the enemy Colorado is going to assist him in preventing the capture. We lose one of our main turrets, and since the patch, I'm not going to say it's worse. It just feels bad. Probably because I'm in the Tashkent, and the Tashkent, I believe, I can't confirm this, but I think the Tashkent turrets break a lot more than the Kiev. I'm thinking it's just a coincidence, though, at this point. And we're firing at long range with HE, which is Noobtacular Central. But obviously, I want to be able to take out the destroyer. Keeping the target on fire is not terrible. We do want to capture A. The friendlies have eliminated the target that tried to capture C from us. So we have the advantage. They have one more ship death than we do. It's anybody's game. You can see my health. It's very low. Oh, also, for those who don't know, the premium heal consumable, you now get 1 extra charge. Premium adds 1 extra charge of whatever it is. Obviously, for damage control, that doesn't apply because it's unlimited charges. But AA, the heal, the aircraft, not that you would need like 6 or 7 aircraft. How could I use that many aircraft in a 20-minute match? I don't understand. Unless I could get multiple up. You really like to benefit from the heal and the AA effectiveness. And now it basically says, okay, premium heal is required because it's a better consumable just straight up. You're just going to have to invest the credits. And, of course, we're set on fire, and it's the worst time to use damage control. Just as I have used it, enemy dive bombers show up, and I'm going, oh god. Trying to get close to Colorado. This is what the Colorado's good at. AA support. And thankfully, we're able to not be set on fire. And we kill off, well, assist in killing off, a couple aircraft as they escape. This enemy destroyer is pretty annoying. I would put the Polish destroyer somewhere in between a Soviet destroyer and a US destroyer. It has a better torpedo setup than the Soviet destroyers. It has better velocity than the US, but not quite as good as the Soviet. So it's actually pretty good, and it feels like it has more overall guns. I'm looking for a really good game so I can share it with you. Now, enemy torpedo bombers tried to get me, but no. Colorado is right there to protect me. And I think he settles. He says, I've taken too much damage. I'm going to go after the full health battleship rather than you. It looks like he attempts to get an attack on me with his other. And yes, this is what I'm talking about. We need that damage on you. And by the way, did you see what that destroyer said to me? Run, Tirpitz, run. Yeah, he should have been dead. But he's staying at 11 to 10 kilometers. It's not an easy shot. If I would give it more time, I would probably have this guy dead. I just figured that I would have more assistance in damaging him from allies, but clearly I don't. Don't know where the enemy Colorado is. I don't believe we've killed it, and we miss as he disappears. Okay. The enemy aircraft carrier is under fire, though, from the friendly aircraft carrier. Hopefully he won't go after me, but in all honesty, I was able to absorb, I think, 2, maybe 3 full attacks. That's a lot of wasted cooldowns on your aircraft on a target that didn't die. So we set the Colorado on fire, and I'm all happy. Yes, a fire. He's using his heal. You can see his health already going up. 22,000, 23,000. Yeah. And he's probably put it out too, because there hasn't been a fire set on him in a while. Yep, no fire. So we're going to unload the last of our HE and swap to AP. The enemy's 10 kilometers out. Might as well try, right? Going after the destroyer has been a waste of my time. So, as we reload, destroyer drops torpedoes, but they don't have range to meet us. See the destroyer. 12 kilometers out. Yeah. It's got pretty good range. It's a pretty good ship. It's too bad there probably won't be a Polish line. There's not as much value in a ship like that as compared to a Soviet cruiser or a German battleship. Those are both coming soon. They are the next lines to be introduced, so that'll be exciting. Enemy Colorado, he's got a slight angle. And this enemy is getting a little cocky. That destroyer, he's like, oh, he's committed to not firing on me. I can go in. Nope. I should play dumb sometimes. I should just, oh, I'm going after the battleship, and then just switch instantly. Because once he saw me going after that battleship, or committing to going after that battleship, he came too close. And I was able to land a big AP shot. Mind you, AP is not the ideal ammo type, but we were able to land a lot of damage. He's barely alive. We can easily finish him off with the salvo, which we do, finally. Good night, sweet prince. So frustrating. I just played it incorrectly. Looking back on it, I gave him too much attention, and he was able to counter that by playing super passively. Now we were able to capture A. Don't get me wrong, we needed to capture A. We needed to put pressure on the enemy. Objectives are how you win the game. I can't tell you how many games I've watched like 4 friendly ships go off into a corner trying to get 1 kill and allowing the enemy to recapture objectives, and we lose because of that. But, you know, the game's over. Enemy tries to set up a torpedo attack. Unsuccessful. So, the Tirpitz, she brought in some good cash. $500,000. We got Dreadnought. This wasn't the most spectacular Tirpitz game. Only 1,959 base XP. But it was an interesting storyline. We did somewhere in the realm of 72,000 points of damage. I hope you enjoyed this game. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.